Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
And together we're Backyard Musings, the Science and Technology channel.
Yep. And back in the People's Republic of California. And we're talking about a health topic this morning. And we appreciate everybody that's been listening and watching and subscribing and leaving comments. So here we go.
But before we launch in, Scott, I wanted to give some feedback. I did stop taking melatonin for a couple nights. I remember I said I was going to stop it. And how I take the fish oil and the magnesium citrate, those help you. I didn't have any problems falling asleep.
Well, there you go.
Didn't have any problems. And normally I have problems falling asleep. That's why I was taking the melatonin.
So cold turkey on the melatonin. You're just, and you're done, right? No more melatonin.
Well, no more long-term. Like what we talked about in the segment, jet lag.
Right.
I'll take it for jet lag, but not long-term anymore, as needed.
Well, good. There goes clinical trial.
Yep.
That didn't take long. That was just a couple of days, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't even need any mice. So there you go.
Maybe I'm a humanized mice. I don't know. Okay, here we go. How the body efficiently shifts metabolism after fasting may be key to improving health. UTSW-led research suggests cutting calorie intake has long been linked to longer life, and intermittent fasting often appears to work better than maintaining a constant diet. Even so, scientists have struggled to explain exactly why this happens. Would you like to know more?
Okay, just word butchering notification. So, new research from the UT Southwestern Medical Center. I'm going to assume that's University of Texas, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Published in Nature Communications on January 22nd of this year, suggests that the key factor is not the fasting period itself, but how the body adjusts its metabolism when food is reintroduced. And I've noticed that. Obviously, we fast at least once a month at the beginning of the month, first Sunday. And I'll notice that my body, and I don't gorge myself the first meal that we eat, but I've noticed that my body the next day, which is Monday, usually a Monday, is a little off. Have you ever noticed that? Are you affected by that?
Well, when I come off from fasting, I gorge myself. So I don't know.
Yeah, I try not to do that. I know some people that do. Obviously, you just admitted to it, but
it's just I'm so hungry,
Yeah, no, I get it. The experiments were carried out in. This is going to be a bad one here. Canor habitus elegans. I have no idea what that is. A type of roundworm commonly used in laboratory studies, and the findings could eventually inform approaches to improving human health. So what is that? Is that a type of roundworm, huh?
Yeah, that's what it says, roundworm.
Interesting.
Who would have known? Quote, our discoveries shift the focus toward a neglected side of the metabolic coin, the refeeding phase. Our data suggests that the health-promoting effects of intermittent fasting are not merely a product of the fast itself, but are dependent on how the metabolic machinery recalibrates during the subsequent transition back to a fed state, said study leader Peter Douglas, PhD. Sounds like Associate Professor of Molecular Biology, member of the Hammond Center for Regenerative Science and Medicine at UT Southwestern. Dr. Douglas co-led the study with Lexis Tague, a former PhD, a former member of the Douglas Lab. So it sounds like this is, it's like it's talking like it's a vampire fed, back to a fed state. Okay.
Yeah. During fasting, cells quickly use up limited glucose supplies and then switch to breaking down stored lipids for energy. The shift, known as catabolism, is controlled by a protein called NHR49. When glucose levels drop, NHR49 activates and triggers lipid breakdown. Once food is available again, NHR49 turns off, allowing cells to stop breaking down fats and begin restoring their energy reserves. Earlier work published in 2022 by Dr. Douglas and colleagues showed that NHR49 also monitors lipid levels inside cells and helps prevent starvation when those reserves run low.
To explore whether NHR49 is responsible for lifespan benefits of fasting, Dr. Douglas and colleagues removed the gene for this protein in C. elegans, that's that weird name that she said before, and then subjected the worms to a 24-hour fast. The outcome was unexpected. You mean worms don't fast, so they starved them for 24 hours. The outcome was unexpected. The absence of NHR49 did not reduce the lifespan benefit. The fasted worms still lived about 41% longer on average and showed more youthful behavior, including increased movement, similar to worms with normal NHR49 function.
Okay, so I believe that this is probably the first time we've talked about some type of trial or test with a worm.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
Okay. The researchers then turn their attention to what happens after fasting ends, when NHR49 is normally switched off. To understand this process, they examined how NHR49 is naturally inactivated. Experiments led by Vincent Tagliabracci, PhD, Associate Professor of Molecular Biology at UTSW, and a Howard Hughes Medical Institute investigator. I wonder if that's the same Howard Hughes that was the aircraft guy.
Yeah.
Along with Victor Lopez, also a PhD, a postdoctoral researcher in the Tagliabracci lab, showed that an enzyme called protein kinase or kinase CK1 alpha 1 or KIN19 modifies NHR49 through phosphorylation.
Yep.
Okay. Got to be some kind of process, right? When Dr. Douglas and colleagues altered the system so that NHR49 remained active even after feeding resumed, lipid breakdown continued, and the lifespan extending effects of fasting disappeared.
Taken together, the findings indicate that the ability to properly shut down NHR49 after fasting is critical for extending lifespan through calorie restriction. Adjusting this process may offer a way to gain the benefits of fasting without needing to follow strict dietary regimens.
Quote, our findings bridge a gap between lipid metabolism and aging research. That's according to Dr. Douglas. And to go on with a quote, by targeting aging, the single greatest risk for human disease, we moved beyond treating isolated conditions toward a preventative model of medicine that enhances quality of life for all individuals. So this testing almost sounds like this fasting is for maybe weight loss.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we fast for spiritual reasons, right?
Yeah.
We're sacrificing food for a day, almost like, you know, any other sacrifice, right? We're just being closer in tune with the spirit, right?
Yeah.
And so, but this is interesting. I mean, I would have never thought that you would test this kind of stuff. So, sounds like
there's a part in here that said gain the benefits of fasting without needing to follow strict dietary regimens. The only strict regimen I can think of is that you're cooking fresh. Every meal is cooked and then consumed, and then the next meal cook it and consume it rather than pop open a can or fry something up. You know what I mean?
Something frozen. Yeah.
That's the only strict dietary regimen I can think of, and that's just getting back to cooking normal food. Now, if you combine that with this intermittent fasting, that could be a powerhouse. You could eliminate all those plateaus, because when you're trying to lose weight, you drop and then you hit a plateau, and then you drop and hit another plateau, and you got to mix it up to keep going down.
Right. Yeah, because otherwise you're just starving yourself, right? If you're just trying to do it quickly.
Well, I mean, it's healthy food. You're just eating healthy, nutritional food. That's what I did. I lost like 79 pounds.
And again, I'm never really done this kind of stuff or looked into intermittent fasting, but that would be like fasting for one meal a day or two meals, right?
Yeah.
You're not doing breakfast and lunch and then eating at dinner or vice versa, right? Not eating a lunch and a dinner and then waking up and eating a breakfast. Am I on that thing? So
yeah, but the programs I saw was like eat like 6 meals a day that are fist size meals, you know?
oh, okay.
And
Almost like
that
what they suggest for people that are diabetic, right? Eat more often in smaller amounts.
that charges the metabolism, I guess, is what I read, the stuff that I read. It kicks it up.
Right.
But doing that, you still hit a plateau, you know?
Yeah.
Several plateaus.
Okay. Well, let us
All right,
know what you
folks.
think about it.
Thanks for
Take
joining
care.
us.
We'll see you this afternoon. Thanks.